I want to get Guy. I want to just see what you're up to, how things are going.
Well, we are keeping busy with the Windows 11 update because in about a month from now, actually, yeah, exactly a month from now, Windows 10 is not going to be getting any more security update. So anyone that have any Windows 10 computer still in his business, they need to move to Windows 11. And what came out is that a lot of the computers are older computers and they're not able to upgrade those computers to Windows 11. So we are purchasing a lot of new computers for clients, and then we are installing new computers. So it's, Microsoft is helping us with the business by doing that transition from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Yeah, and we got our lady in the Philippines that start working for us. So that's working okay. And yeah, I'm not sure. We gave one lead to Juni. I'm not sure what I think Juni spoke with the client, but I'm not sure where that goes.
Yeah, we had a very good conversation with his team, and they are trying to take what we talked about, and it's the same problem that a lot of companies have, is that first they need to understand what AI is. Now that they know what it is, they're going to put together an idea of where they think AI can benefit, and then we'll have another meeting to kind of discuss what that implementation would look like.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So that's the update on my end.
Guy, when you have an older Windows 10 computer and you upgrade, you have to buy another computer, obviously, but what can you use the other one? What can you use the old computer for? I have one that's really still in good shape.
A bookend.
Honestly, I will not use it because it's with Windows 10 and you cannot move it to Windows 11. So security-wise, you're not going to get any security update. So if you have any information or you do any business with it, you're going to put your business in a vulnerable situation. Consider that if there is any kind of attack that Microsoft is creating any patches for, and your Windows 10 is not going to get the patch for, then you're leaving your business open to be attacked.
Use it as a backup? Can you use it for like a backup computer?
You can use it. You can use it as a backup to sync your data with the other computer, just to have another backup. But I would use it more like a backup server or a backup computer. But I will not work on that computer, which means I would sync my data with that computer. And we do that with server usually, where we sync between servers, but I will not use it actively to send emails, receive emails, and do everything else that you do in a day-to-day business.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I tell my clients, because I understand that some businesses that we work with, they have to buy like 20 and 30 computers. It's a huge expense. I fully understand that. And I tell my client, look, we don't have to buy new computers. You can go on Amazon, you can get a refurbished computer that is 2 or 3 years old, that has Windows 11 Pro, i7, 30 gigs of memory, SSD hard drive, the whole thing. And you can get it for $400 or $500, to compare to a same computer with the same setup, with the same specs, and that will be somewhere at about $1,300 to $1,500 for a brand new one. So yeah, you're getting an older computer, but you can also buy most of those computers with a 2 and 3 year warranty for $40. And if something happened to the computer, they send you a new one.
Okay. Okay, I have another question for you, but I'll save it. I'll call you about it later regarding the hardware. But we have a guest. We have a guest and potential member on the call, Guy. Is it how do you spell your last name? Say your last name.
Yeah. It's Banico. Yeah, I know Guy. Guy Shurki, right?
Oh, yeah, Guy's in.
What's that?
Hey, Guy, what's going on?
Sorry.
Hey, doing well, man.
Yeah.
Good stranger here.
I bet you know his wife too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Everyone knows my wife. No one knows me.
Never mind that. But any questions for Guy? No? Okay. So good. Well, thanks, guy. Thanks for coming on.
No, no problem. Thank you.
Let's move to Jeff Hakim. How you doing, Jeffrey?
Good. Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. What's new?
I don't know, man. Just keeping up. Need to talk to Candace, I think. See if she can clone me. No, things are good, man. We've been busy. There's been a lot of good activity out there, believe it or not. I just hired a new associate last week, so that's been taking up majority of my time. I shouldn't say majority. That's been taking up additional time, making sure she gets ramped up and onboarded properly.
Let's see here. I don't really have any direct questions other than, like what strategies are you using to stay informed about other members? How have you been able to, kind of check in with other members? Have you met other members in person that you can
Yeah,
power partner?
actually, I'm not as consistently as I like, but I definitely, appreciate the emails that you've been putting out. I think those are great. Get you thinking about other members and what they're doing and keep them front of mind. I've been more proactive in reaching out to members like Johnny or Candace, just because I'm very interested how I can incorporate them into my business. But obviously, Guy and Vince and Juni sort of all take compliments to the business as well. So it's just a matter of time. I like to kind of just go through the list and just, make sure I'm reaching out to each member over time, whether it's coffee or something like this, just to get to know them better. Maybe golf, if you guys would ever invite me.
Well,
I can clone you, Jeffrey. I can clone you.
Dude,
I can AI version of you.
I don't know if we want that though.
Yeah.
we're thinking of playing tomorrow, Jeff. So you're top of the list. Don't worry.
Oh,
Now, Juni, I know I've introduced you to Jeffrey because I don't know if you're technically power partners and, with Juni being in commercial real estate. I mean, Juni in commercial insurance and you in commercial real estate. But is that a natural power partner connection?
potentially.
Yeah, I tried out a little bit there for me. But did you say commercial real estate?
I made a mistake. I meant commercial insurance. I was just asking if you guys are natural
Oh,
power
commercial
partners.
insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juni, I do commercial real estate. So yeah, needless to say, my clients at some point are going to need some form of insurance, whether they're leasing or purchasing their property.
Arlene's listening in. We'll
Fairly.
hi, Arlene. So hopefully he comes back on because I did give him a lead for my cold calls that turned into business for him already. So
Nice work, Alan.
yeah, that was cool.
Alan, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm driving, so I blocked my camera. But I wonder. I was talking today with my lady in the Philippines because we are looking at the script, and one of the things that we are asking companies is, when was the last time they checked their backup? And I want to ask the member of our group, that when was the last time you guys went and checked your backup for your data for your company and actually retrieve data from your backup? Could be that you guys have another IT company that you guys work with, another IT guy you guys work with, whatever. You do it on your own, right? But when was the last time you identified what is the most important data that you have for your company? That if you're going to lose it, your company is going to be in problem. Okay, I'm talking about losing corrupt server, corrupt computer, getting a cyber attack, crypto, encryption, all those things. And when was the last time someone checked your backup? And when was the last time someone actually retrieved data from your backup? And how often do you do that? Because setting up a backup doesn't mean it's going to work when you're going to need it. So just an open question. Think about it.
Well-
Because when the shit hit the fan and you don't do that, then you're in trouble.
Well,
So,
I mean, let's just go around real quick and just give a quick answer just to assure ourselves that we're doing it. Me and Debra back up our own computers, our most critical information periodically. So I think we're confident that if we lost something that we can get our most critical information, except maybe emails, but those are backed up in a way too. How about you, Jeff? You have a lot of information.
All of my programs are cloud-based, whether it's, emails, Microsoft Office, our Office 365, and everything else is Salesforce.
So you're comfortable. Okay.
Okay,
How about you?
So Jeff, let me ask you a question, okay? First of all, Alan, you said periodically, so I wonder what's the period, okay? Because is it 3 months? Are you willing to lose 3 months of data? That's a question you need to ask yourself, right?
Right.
And then you need to ask yourself how often I do it and how much data. If I'm losing my data today and I backed up 3 months ago, am I willing to lose 3 months of data, or do I need a different solution over there? So that's a question just for you, an open question. Think about it, okay? With the Office 365, just a pointer for that. Office 365, if something is erased, we'll keep it for 90 days. If you're using SharePoint, then it's also being kept for 90 days, and then it's going to be erased completely from the cloud. So if anyone using SharePoint or OneDrive to have all the company data, I do recommend to use another cloud backup where you back up the SharePoint or OneDrive to that cloud backup. Okay, because remember, Office 365 is not a backup solution, which means it doesn't have revision. Okay, so if someone goes into your computer and encrypts your data on your computer, you open an email that someone sent you from UPS, you wake up in the morning, and boom, everything is encrypted. They will encrypt also your Office 365, and it will sync your computer with your OneDrive or SharePoint, and will encrypt all the data over there. Now, Office 365 doesn't keep revision of your data, which means your data is encrypted. So I always recommend clients to have an extra. We in my company, we always set up these two solutions, one called Acronis Cloud Backup, and the other one is Wasabi. And we basically take the SharePoint and back it up to those. And those have 60 revision, which means if you call me today and tell me yesterday I got encrypted, I'll get you the data from yesterday, okay, or the day before that.
Sure.
In Office 365, you're going to lose the data. Just another pointer, just think about it. And
that's a good point. That's a very good
what
point.
you want to do. But people say I have my data in the cloud, but not every data in the cloud is an actually backup solution. Backup solution is a solution where you have revisions that you can go back in time and pull the data from the last 60 days or 120 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between backup and cloud storage. That's between those two.
Okay. All right, Guy, maybe we should have an office hours. That's a very good point you make. We can have office hours and invite people to hear you talk and ask these good questions. Let's see. Just to finish up with Juni and Jeffrey, the question was, we're just Power Partners is a B2B introduction and referral service. Our main goal is to find people that can give each other repeat referral business. So, Jeff, just as an example, who else gives you repeat referral business?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's financial advisors, attorneys, occasionally CPA, but financial advisors I find are probably the most consistent.
Okay. So that, we keep that in mind. That's what we try to introduce more to Jeffrey of. So, okay, let's keep it moving. Thanks, Jeff. Unless anybody has any questions for Jeff. Candace, you
I
made a
have
note.
question, but on the brochure I have for Jeff, a commercial insurance broker on his list. A coinky dinky.
Yeah. So that's why I made the introduction, because we watch out for each other on these connections. So any last questions or clarifications for Jeff on what he does? Okay. All right. Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So I got disconnected there for a little bit. So when I was talking to Jeff and you're asking me about Jeff and his, I guess we're both commercial insurance, but the funny thing is I actually get a lot of leads from other insurance agents, which is kind of weird, but yeah, so you never know. We might be able to refer business to each other in some form.
Jeff does commercial real estate.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Well, then we'll definitely be able to help each other.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and he has a podcast. We did an interview of him, and we have a podcast and from his member list on the website, and the brochure is where you can hear more about him.
Oh, cool.
All right, let's go to Vince Attardo. How you doing, Vince? I haven't seen you in a while since, other than the golf course. So
I'm doing amazing, wonderful, blessed, and
good.
all good news to report. Staying busy. I did let 2 of my service experts go. I've had one for 27 years on and off, and one for 7. So we slimmed things down because we were a little slow for a little bit, but we also weren't getting as much, I would say, I won't call it reciprocation, but kind of like a spoiled apple. When you start to grow over $1 million, the people that you were at 250,000 to 500,000 usually aren't going to stay with you when you get to plus 1,000 million plus, because they're used to doing things the good old boy way. There was no, let's say, accountability. So now there's a lot more systems and processes in place, and more streamlined, and also very much more technical with and those types of things. So we're able to have reports and check and see who's really doing well and who's not, or who's complaining more than others. So we just kind of slimmed things down, and it was a really good move. And we're also looking for the virtual assistant as well still. Training up my daughters, taking a lot of our time, and also my son. Those are both 2 of our children that are in the business now. My son's going to trade school for plumbing. My daughter's going to business school and is working in administration with my wife. So it's been a blessing for us. Also learning about Johnny's business, slow to pick up on that, but he's got the widgets out there working for us, and now people are responding, and I'm getting information from people who are interested. And so it's just a matter of making sure I get those emails and I follow with them, so I don't let business slip through the cracks.
Right. Did you get in touch? I made an introduction to the new member, James Cleveland, who does like design build. Did you ever connect with him yet?
Yeah, we did chat briefly, as well as I referred out a couple of public adjusters. I think he was him.
Right. Right. Thank you. Thank you. So your conversation with him, was it okay? Was it?
Oh yeah, that was favorable. I mean, we didn't have anything for each other at the moment, but we're basically aware that we're both in the group, and we have an opportunity to help each other grow our business like everybody else that's on the call today.
Okay. Well, I keep track of all of the introductions and referrals I make, so I'm going to connect you. I'm going to say you're a power partners now. So
Thank you. Appreciate your efforts. And as it was mentioned earlier from Jeffrey, or it was Guy, I can't remember, that the emails that you sent out, for the Wednesdays and Fridays, those are good. Keep us top of mind awareness.
yes, the idea came to me because just want to make sure that people are understanding what everybody is doing, because people ask me, do we have this in the group and that in the group? And it kind of means that they're not 100% sure about what somebody does. So I don't mind. I want people to use me as a resource, but I also want people to know exactly what everybody does in the group, because does anybody belong to a weekly, a networking group that they meet every week?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Johnny does.
You
I
go
do.
every week, Johnny?
Every Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've all done that, but the good part of that is that you get to see everybody constantly, and eventually find people who can work with you, versus what we're doing is, not all the members are on the meeting, although Jim just came in. That's nice. So we save you that time and effort, but at the same time, we need ways to make sure that everybody is top of mind, and as best as possible, educate them about their business. So the questions I thought were a fun way to do that. And I have some coming out for Johnny tomorrow or Friday. He's next on the list.
I'm glad I got my email back.
Yeah, but probably
Right.
Friday. But besides that, I'll get into it in a minute. We're going to get into another in-person event in November. I just wanted to run it by everybody. But hi, Jim, how you doing?
I would recommend everybody watching the videos you have put together of each of us, because those are very informative. And also for the group to know that we do commercial plumbing as well as residential. So if you have any commercial buildings or building owners, property managers that that need commercial plumbing, we can handle that as well as the residential.
Yeah. So, being that like Juni's in insurance. Is that a conflict? I mean, like do you insurance companies get along?
Myself, my company. Yeah, we do a lot of work. Actually, we work with all insurance companies just by choice. We're not a preferred vendor of any. We work with the end user primarily.
Okay. Oh, you
And
guys
we
know
help represent.
you guys know each other already anyway. So just as I know from your podcast, they said you want us to call you first.
Yeah, just like an attorney would tell you to call them first before you call your insurance company. There's a lot of reasons for that. Juni is an agent. He's not an adjuster. So adjusters and I don't see eye to eye. Juni takes your money each month, but he also provides you with customer service, which a lot of insurance companies don't provide very well. They take your money real well, but they don't always give you the support you need. They do put and pay bills, but they tend to save as much as they can for the people that are the stockholders. So every money that's not sent to you is saved for the company, and that's the way the businesses make their money.
Okay. Any questions for Vince Coastline? Okay. Thank you, Vince. Appreciate your time today. Let me see here. Let's go to. All right. So let's go to Johnny. Johnny, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, other than my
Yeah.
little technical hiccup with Microsoft, but still was able to get a lot of things done, adding a lot of new features and getting ready to roll those out. Finally, bringing on a couple of new clients onto the Prism AI platform, getting ready to deploy yours for Power Partners. So getting excited for that as well.
Great.
So yeah, we're definitely moving forward, and like I said, every week I also do that networking event. So be meeting with a lot of the networking event I'm actually part of is a group of entrepreneurs, founders, and investors that get together, kind of like an incubator, accelerator type thing. I've joined several of them over the years, but this one I really like. I'm actually considering becoming part of the actual venture group. But yeah, so I get to help out a lot of these new companies and get a better grasp of AI and show them how AI could help streamline or augment their new companies and build relationships. So yeah, that's basically what I've been focused on the last month, and real exciting stuff.
I just read that Fiverr let go 30% of their people, like 250 people for Fiverr because they're going to AI stuff.
Yes, well, Fiverr itself is basically independent contractors anyway. I think most of them kind of are. So I've been dealing with AI coding or vibe coding for the last few months now. And these claims that like Mark Zuckerberg and the rest of them are saying that they're going to get rid of like 60 or 40% of their staff. I don't see how. It's good, but it's not good enough to completely replace anyone. Someone still needs to keep it in check. It makes a lot of mistakes. It does a lot of interesting things. So I don't know how much I buy into that. I know a couple of companies that did do some layoffs thinking AI could help. They actually had to rehire half of them back within a few months, only because they realized real quickly that the senior managers were still struggling trying to keep up with the extra load work that they assumed AI was going to pick up. But again, I'm not saying it won't get there. I'm saying we're not there yet. It is very good. It allows people like me to be able to do a whole lot more for less. Normally I'd have to hire a front end dev team that would take me 4 months and $50K to build out my web app. I can, been able to build my own myself using vibe coding, but that's because I'm familiar with technology for the last 30 years. And on the dev side, I may not be a front end expert, but I'm a back end expert. So I can help it with the APIs and all that. I hate front end and design. It is really good at that. So my entire website and my entire web app that I built for Prism AI is completely and totally built by AI. The back end, that's pretty much me, but with the help of AI just to speed things up. But I was able to build that entire front end and my website, which, I got quotes last year for anywhere between 3 to 5 months with a cost of about 40 to 60 grand. I did it all in 6 weeks for like $200 by myself. So again, there's a huge potential there. But like I said, I don't think it's ready to replace anyone yet. It's going to help the ones that know technology and development to just become super powered. And that's great. It's going to increase productivity, but I don't think it's anywhere near ready to replace people's jobs. And if it can't do it in a tech sector, I have less confidence that it's going to do it in any of the other bigger sectors, unless it's super simplistic, repetitive work.
Well,
that it's really good at.
Let's talk about what you do in the sense that I want to give you a testimonial is that we got compliments on the FAQ. I mean, not FAQ, the true false quiz that I'm sending out to keep people top of mind and test everybody on members' businesses. And that is purely from your system, Prism AI. You know, I have everybody's podcast and I'll ask it to create a true false question with explanation. And then I, 5 at a time, I choose the ones I want. So there's that result is purely from your system. I look at it as an assistant, it is an assistant for me. There's no way I could put that out, that kind of information out, that accurate information about a member. And this is about reverse mortgages. It's about bankruptcy stuff. It's from their words. So I'll take the podcast. It's in the knowledge base. And that's what it's pulling from, as well as from meetings that I'm recording and putting in there as well. So I have a wealth of information, content. So if you guys can, kind of extrapolate that to your business, how putting all of your, creating a custom knowledge base and then using it and applying it. This is one example of how I'm doing it. And it's working. Not to mention it helps me with the introduction letters that are written for everybody. So I'm thinking, I was just telling Debra, I was like, we got to get Candace to help with this stuff because I got so much content that it's just piling up on me that I can push out with it, but only with AI and in the right scenarios. But that's up to the owner to figure it out. But anyway, thanks, Johnny. Any questions for Johnny? So you're working with Vince now, and you're also in discussions with some of Guy's clients?
Correct. Yeah. Me and Vince, we were able to set up both his A1 Best Plumbing and the Coastline platform, or put them both on the platform. We're going through the implementation process now. There's always that initial, get accustomed and understand and figure out how to use the system because it is brand new to them. And I think we're working ourselves through there, but I think Vince can probably speak better to this than me. I think they're happy with what they've gotten so far. I don't think they've appreciated the full power of it yet because it's still so new, and and I haven't, I still working on building out the tutorial videos and whatnot. So instead, poor Vince has to call me up and say, "Hey man, how do I do this?" And I'm like, "Damn it! All right, yeah, let me call you up and I'll walk you through," because trying to explain it in an email and whatnot, it can get easily misunderstood. And by the way, Vince, thank you for being patient with me on that. Like I said, I'm still, after having to relay everyone up, I'm kind of like having to struggle a little bit on this stuff, but you've been extremely patient with me and I appreciate it. And I think a lot of the suggestions that you and Chris have given me, my goal is still to replace every one of those other third-party vendors you're using and use my platform only. So I will build for you. I just need to figure out what they're doing first.
Okay. As a reminder to everybody, this meeting goes to 12:15, Juni. We want to get to you as well, but good. Any last questions for Johnny and what he's up to? I know it's a lot, but I think we're very fortunate to have him. That knowledge that he brings is going to be so important as we keep moving into this AI world.
Yeah, and just real quick, guys, I know a lot of people are discouraged or on the opposite, really encouraged with AI, and they try it out, and then they're like, oh, they're disappointed. As I'm sure Vince, or at least Alan can vouch, is that AI is exceptionally well at what it does, but AI by itself isn't the silver bullet that you think it is. You'd still need to have someone who knows how to implement it. And like, for example, me and Alan have a great partnership right now where we've, coined a new niche of AI optimization, which is increasingly becoming pivotal in allowing the AI to be that silver bullet for companies. Because just having the AI isn't enough. It's making sense of your data, cleaning up your data, and then contextualizing that data so that the AI can use it correctly to do those things for you and your company. So That's what me and Alan and several other people have been working on for the last year. And I think it's going to be a game changer.
Okay, thank you. How's everybody else doing for time? Are you okay, Jim?
Good.
Okay, let's go to Candace.
Righty. Hi, everyone. And I just want to say also with what Johnny is saying, absolutely. And so that's what some of the things that we're actually finding with virtual assistant services is some clients, new clients that we have gotten and even existing have gone the AI route and are actually getting a VA to manage the AI. So kind of like Alan and Johnny, what we were talking about before. So we do have some clients, new clients that are doing that as well as existing that are thinking of transitioning into that as well. So coming from, someone that has VAs, that's what we're seeing as well. They're not getting rid of their VAs. What they're doing is they're basically shifting into making it more productive. So that's something that we've been seeing as well.
Great.
Right. How's everything else going, Candace?
Everything's going good. Like I mentioned, we have a VA with Guy with Power Partners. And then I know I have to get back with Jim. Jim, I know you said that you were thinking of starting up again in September, so you'll be getting a call from me shortly. And yeah, but other than that, like I said, given that AI is huge, we were just at a conference in San Francisco for a HubSpot. It was huge. There was thousands of people, which is insane. And so there was a lot of insight. Both owners went, one from here from Florida, the other from the UK. And then so that was the big. Sometimes, the owner of the company, he goes to events and he speaks at a lot of events, but nothing as large as the HubSpot event. So that was pretty interesting. And yeah, other than that, like I said, business is great and looking forward to working with other power partners. And I do have my little my little brochure that I absolutely love. I have it on my desk. But yeah, looking at, and I do, Alan, I do like the Wednesdays and Fridays that you send out because like you said, it reminds us, hey, this person does this. So I do a lot of networking. I don't do the same group every week, but I do network every week. And most of them are out in California. So that gives me an opportunity to bring all the power partners up, right? Because most of the clients that we have are for the networking that I do are in Southern California. So that's good. I'm not sure if any of you are on Alignable, but I do a lot of networking on Alignable as well, which we have basically kind of like this. It's like 7 minutes with different people and whatnot. And then you see if you're going to go off of that into your own conversation with people as well. So it's kind of like speed networking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Any questions for Candace? She does virtual. She has a great virtual assistant company.
Oh, cool.
She has a podcast where she explains all this.
Candace, we should talk. Maybe we can create a AI portal for your VAs to offer enhanced services to your client where they can just upload documents to the platform and your VAs already know how to take advantage of it. So you guys can become more powerful or more productive.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very much open to that.
Yeah.
We actually have 2 VAs on our staff.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Any questions for Candace before we go to Jim? Well, thanks, Candace. I mean, as far as Power Partners, I've been doing a lot of cold calling. I'm really getting an idea of what is working in the script, and we just need to go over it. The issue is like for lead gen is the follow-up time. Like, the first call, it still requires more work, right? You still have to follow up because they don't even really know you from anything. So we're trying to figure out like what does it take to close a lead. In our case, it's either we're trying to get new power partners or business for iTrust marketing. But we're having good success, and people aren't hanging up on us, so we're happy about that. Really good conversations we're getting with people. In fact, one of the people we called, we got business for Juni on that one. So if you were calling for us, you would also be calling for power partners in a way. So Jim, thank you, Candace. Jim, thanks for joining us after your meeting. How did it go? How was your call?
And follow what Candace said about, or maybe you said it, the fortune is in the follow-up. I learned that from Mr. Swell Insurance there. Judy used to run lunchtime meetings. Was it once a month? And
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
2 or 3, maybe 5 people show up for it, and you go back and forth about how to generate leads, what to do with leads, and it was all part of the Seal Beach Chamber of Commerce. Very, very insightful meetings that covered that. And Johnny, I got a question for you. I've got clients who are in assisted living, in memory care units, and so on. And I came across a product recently, I guess it was 2 weeks ago at my last Rotary meeting. Virtual people. These guys are in a room and they don't have anybody there. And this AI device platform creates people.
Mhm.
And, I create the Queen of England. They can put their brother-in-law in there, give them a picture, and it creates a community, a virtual community for people who are in assisted living or nursing home. I think it's amazing. And they can have conversations.
Mhm.
It's really quite remarkable.
Yeah, it's basically the AI avatar. If you were ever a gamer back within the last 10 or 15 years, they tried doing it quite a bit, but they did it very clunky. I mean, most MMO, without going down the gaming route, yes, you can even create just about anyone. There's actually a company out there who created a holographic version of it. So there's it looks like a phone booth, and they take an AI image of yourself and project it. So you can actually have meetings, across the world, and it looks like they're in the room with
Well,
you.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
actually pretty cool.
You know what? Because Jim and Arlene's on this call, I've been doing a lot of business development for Arlene, which is in home care, and companionship is a big element to home care. Somebody for the people in these communities to talk to. So I'd like to learn more about that, but I'm sure Arlene would too. But thanks for bringing that up. What else is new?
Well, there's a change in the Medicaid, Medi-Cal rules. 5 or 6 years ago, Medi-Cal said, okay, look, we're not going to count your assets if you're going to have the state of California pay for your long-term care. But that's changing because of the big beautiful bill and the downshifting of the cost to the states. California is now going back to counting assets. What does that mean? It means that if you are on Medi-Cal and they're providing expensive services for you, they can come and they can gather up whatever assets you have. Up until now, the last 6 years, they couldn't come after assets. They only counted income. But as of January 1st, now they're going to start counting after whatever assets people have in order to pay for the long-term care that the state of California is paying for. It's called recovery. Like the state of California is now going to recover their costs by coming after whatever assets you have. And that includes houses, it includes bank accounts, it includes, the regulations on this have yet to be written. One of the big questions at this point is, what about people who are currently in the Medi-Cal system? Are they going to come after those people? There's a lot of questions that are still yet to be answered by the state of California. But the rules are changing, and it's going to affect a lot of people. Estate planning attorneys, this is a big bonanza for them because every will and trust that's out there has to be rewritten to accommodate the new bill, the new rules.
Let's
And
do
of course,
let's do a podcast on that subject when you get more concrete information.
what it means for people who do what I do is that you can protect your assets by having the insurance policy. The long-term care insurance policy will offset the cost of, or offset what the state of California will do. You'd have the insurance policy that will reimburse the state of California and not your house, your 401ks, your IRAs, or whatever, vacation properties, whatever it may be. So it's a game changer for people in the business, in the long-term care insurance business.
Okay. Thanks for that update. That's really good information. Any questions for Jim and long-term care insurance?
No.
Okay. All right. So
Hey,
thanks,
Jim,
Jim.
real quick, back to your question about AI. You should have them look into VR, which is virtual reality. There's actually a company out there. I just put it in the chat that specifically creates VR goggles for seniors in senior living that it allows them to connect.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks, Charlie.
All right. So Arlene's one-way communication, so she can't talk. But if you have any questions or comments, Arlene, just put them in the chat, and we'll get some answers for you. So I want to bring up our guest, Juni Banico. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banico. For those who don't know Juni is past president of the Seal Beach Chamber. Jim got me into the Seal Beach Chamber, and so that's how I was involved. But I was like, you're right, Jim. I think whoever said it, Juni is a great networker and is really good in this B2B area. So he is considering Power Partners. We would love to have him as a member and learn, use Power Partners to promote him in our fashion and with our members inside and outside the network. But Juni, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and let us know what you do?
Sure. My name's Juni Banico, and I'm Swell Insurance Solutions. I'm a commercial insurance broker. We're actually now in January, we'll probably be switching to Acrisure. We actually got bought out 2.5 years ago. We used to be in Seal Beach, and then we were in Los Alamitos for a little bit. We just moved last month to Costa Mesa. So we're now in the Pacific Arts Plaza in Costa Mesa. So if you're ever down here, let me know. We could do lunch. Like Alan said, I was the president for the Seal Beach Chamber of Commerce from 22 to 24. So that was quite an experience. I'm still a member there. I specialize primarily in commercial insurance, mostly apartments and commercial buildings are my main focus. I do a little bit of workers' comp and small business here and there, but I do insure a number of, I probably insure about a quarter of the apartments that are in Long Beach right now. So, because I have a pretty big client out there. So that's basically my main focus. I do network with, I mentioned earlier, I was part of the Long Beach Commercial Real Estate Council. So I do network with them. I used to network quite extensively, but these days, most of my leads come from a lot of State Farm agents because State Farm could not do a lot of business in the last three years. So most of my business comes from them, believe it or not. Allstate, State Farm, farmers, agents. I get a lot of business from the other agents because I have a specific niche that some agents just like, for instance, vaping companies used to be used to be a big niche for me. So a lot of agents would just throw it over to me because they didn't know what to do with it, So, and as far as on my spare time, Guy mentioned, no, was it Guy? No, Vince mentioned it earlier. I am a waterman. So I race paddle boards and I race outrigger canoes. So I do a lot of networking on the water. So if anyone ever wants to come out and do some outrigger canoeing with me, you guys are welcome to. I go out there in Long Beach quite a bit. I just did the U.S. Outrigger Championships on 2 weeks ago, where we paddled from Newport Beach to Catalina. And so we finished 15 out of 26, which was kind of nice.
Wow.
So anyway, so that's what I do. And I look forward to networking with a few of you. I know Jim and I know Vince, so it's kind of nice to be a part of a group where I do know some people already.
That's great.
Yeah, to get a head start. There's a lot of people in the real estate. Do you know Kier Jones, State Farm?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
These are key words that you just said about, State Farm, Allstate, just a heads up for you that those are, I would be giving you those leads,
Yeah. And thank you for the lead, by the way. Thank you to Alan. He gave me a lead. It was a gentleman that was just starting his business. He cleans out apartment buildings, which is perfect because, I work with a lot of property management companies. So I was able to get him insurance, and it was all based on a cold call that Alan did, which was amazing, so yeah. So thank you so much, Alan.
But believe it or not, I actually like cold calling. Yeah.
Question for you. Where do you get your leads for cold calling? Do you just get them off Yelp or?
That's a secret. I can't give away that information.
But, the Yellow Pages from 1995. He still has a copy.
It's working for me. That's what do you call it? A company secret right now. Let me work it some more and I'll let you know.
Well, we actually have a business search. You guys talk about AI. Our system actually has an AI. It's called Aris, and we have a radar and everything, but it actually does a business search. So I actually could put in a category, an area, and also an industry, and it'll give me the contacts, how many franchises or locations there are, give me the person's name, possible email, and everything. If I need to know what their X mod is for their workers' comp, I could pull that as well. So you're talking about AI. I mean, Acrisure is supposed to be a fintech company. So a leader in fintech, and they've been buying up a lot of companies. So they're really putting in a lot of money in terms of like AI generated type.
That's a monthly service you pay for?
Oh, no, it's No, we have our own tech team. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they do it themselves. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
a big
nice.
company.
Yeah,
so
the insurance companies are trying. Yeah, I used to work for an insurance company as a developer. Over at X Dimensional, that we built out Nexture, and it's incredible what behind the times insurance is, but how fast we're catching up.
oh yeah.
Before we close, I want to get Debra in, talk about I Trust Marketing, what we've been up to. But any last questions for Juni? Well, thanks, Juni.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'd love to have you as a member. Call me if you have any questions. And did you get a good idea of what we're about, just at least on this meeting? Not everybody's here, but
Oh no, this is great. I mean, like Jim said, we used to do a mastermind group every Wednesday, and even if if I just got one little thing out of it, it was like a motivator. Especially if it's like in the middle of the week, it's like a hump day. Like this, man. I'm just not. There were times where I just didn't want to go in the meeting, but I'm glad I did because I was like, I got a lot. I learned from somebody else, which is really great. Cool.
Well, with your experience, your knowledge, and your ability to network and understand the process of networking, it's just, we want to be able to hold up to your standards there. So I'm sure we are.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us.
Work
What's
on
that?
Juni. He'll be a real asset for the group.
Oh, a huge asset for the group.
Yeah, we should create our own Southern California Chamber of Commerce and make Juni the president.
No.
Hey,
You
I
don't
need an
have to
excuse
have
to get out of the office and meet with people, so this is perfect.
You know what happens when you're a president for 2 years? You stop going to the events the following year.
Yeah.
You go on hiatus for 3 years.
Yeah, you go on hiatus for a whole year. That's what happens.
Yeah, no, we've all been there. We've all been there in some fashion. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's why Power Partners is designed not to do that to you. So, okay, don't lead it, everybody. Let's hear from Debra Armijo, my wife.
Yes,
And-
I trust marketing, helping businesses with their digital and print marketing strategy. Couple of things. We're working on a print job with Valerie, but we're also working on she gave us a referral for doing a website for a doctor that's building their own center. So that's been ongoing. Hopefully they're feeding us a little bit of information trickling down to us. So we're getting it set up. Also, just reminding people for Power Partners, like Candace has the brochure, but we also have, not everybody's on the brochure. So please go to the website on the partners list. So you'll see everybody and it takes you directly to their page. And I just want to say I updated everybody's page who has a podcast so they can do the audio or go to the YouTube. But also for marketing, and Power Partners, I was hopefully with Alan, I wanted to kind of do a little field trip and go see Joaquin's print shop and Beatrice's location. And then regarding Alan, he always sends me those questions first. And I look at it for the Power Partners. I have to say, some I just hit right on, but Mark's was the hardest one, for the attorney. I think I was totally guessing on those. I have to say,
bankruptcy attorney.
I was guessing. It just went above my head. But yeah, and Jim's was hard too. I remember that. But what else did I have? Just Alan's doing his cold call. We've gotten some business from it for Power Partners and our marketing. We've ran into a few people that need help with their websites. A lot of startups that don't have websites and they're scared to give us information about for writing copy. So with the AI, we can whip something up really quick for them so they have something online, and it's been really helpful for them. But yeah, so in the meantime, you can see samples of our work on itrustmarketing.biz.
Right. Any questions for Debra?
Debra, you build websites, you said?
Yeah, Alan and I work on websites. I do the graphics, and we have a system we work on.
Right.
But yeah.
My outrigger clubs needs someone to rebuild our website again. So we lost the person that was doing it. So definitely I'm gonna have to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Juni, we joined Seal Beach just as Power Partners to promote our Power Partners and get more members. And then nobody knew that we did I Trust Marketing, which is website. So we almost got the Seal Beach Chamber. I think we came in at the very end, tail end. So but yes, we do website, print, and Power Partners is a relationship marketing part of our business.
Yeah, my Outrigger Club needs their website back up and running because we lost our person that was doing it. So I'll talk to you guys about that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Great.
You would have offered AI,
Thanks.
you would have won that deal, Alan. I'm just saying.
I did put it on there. I did. It was just too late. So I think that's everybody, right? Except for Arlene. Arlene, if you have any, I don't see any questions, but I'll follow up with you. Arlene has a home care service and nursing registry.
Oh,
And, like I said, if you have any questions, you can come to me as well about those. We've been, for you guys to know, we've been doing a lot of going into assisted living communities and skilled nursing communities. And I'm learning that business as well, of placing those folks, home care professionals as well as nurses. So keep us in mind for that. That's it. It's been a very good meeting. I think I'll edit the meeting and put it out there and break it up for y'all to share these leads that we talked about. But you can also hear the replay as well as soon as it's ready. Any last questions for us? I'll put November 3rd as the date for our in-person event at Ronald McDonald House. We're going to make that happen. And I appreciate your feedback on that. I think it's all good. We'll put it to use. Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
I appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you. Good meeting.
thank you.
Good
Okay.
meeting.
It was
See you
nice
later,
meeting
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, we finished 2 minutes early. Good job.
I
Thank you.